tonight at 5, keeping our neighborhood safe by checking on Greene County sex offenders and predators. Good evening to you all. I'm Michelle Kingsfield.
And I'm Mark Allen. Today, the U.S. Marshals Service made sure 165 convicts were where they say they live. Ohio law requires sexual offenders, even those from out of state, to register with the county sheriff if they've been released from jail since 1997. In addition to registering their address, some must hand over a DNA sample, fingerprints, photos, vehicle registration, and criminal history. That information is then made available to the public.
And from time to time, authorities will check to make sure that information given in registration, especially the address, is correct. Megan O'Rourke was with U.S. Marshals today as they knocked on doors looking for sex offenders and predators.
So when you go to the door, ask them permission to see where the guy's laying his head.
Dozens of deputies, police officers, and U.S. Marshals meet inside the Sex Offender Compliance Command Center Monday morning.
Team B is team leaders Dwayne Gilbert with Michael Beck and Nikki Ralston.
Broken up into 8 different teams, they split up to check on Greene County's 165 registered sex offenders.
We will find some people that are not in compliance. Ideally, the goal is to not find anybody, that everybody's telling us what they're supposed to tell us.
He was born 11/27 1988. He's going to weigh 200 pounds, 6 foot, black hair, brown eyes.
We found that a lot of times the offenders will use one address when they're actually living at another address, and they do it for a number of different reasons.
Whether it's someone in low-income housing where they're prohibited from being on the lease or living too close to a school, officials say there are all sorts of excuses. Deputy U.S. Marshal Bill Taylor says in the past, during similar searches, they found about 10% of offenders to be out of compliance, not living where they should be.
We feel that it makes the community safer knowing where the offenders are living. And, you know, the one fellow from this morning is living in one area of Xenia that nobody that lives around that house knows he's there. And, you know, they could be, I would be concerned about that. If I've got a sex offender living next to me, I want to know it.
Now, I just got off the phone with a U.S. Marshal who tells me they got 10 out of the 121 registered sex offenders checked today were out of compliance. Now, crews will be out again tomorrow. We should also mention that Greene County does conduct its own routine compliance checks. And in recent weeks, officials there say 10 registered sex offenders have been arrested on various violations. Reporting live, Megan O'Rourke, 2 News on your side.